Before we start today's episode, I just want to let everyone know Dave's mic bugged out just before we started recording, so he had to record with his laptop microphone. Just in case anyone thinks, oh, Dave's audio is weird, which it is, you're not wrong. It's just his laptop microphone. Anyway, thanks. On with the show. We usually hang out all the time.
I know, right? You've gotten too busy. You've got more friends. I know it. It's all just lies. You're hanging out with more people.
That's the Critical Arcade. I'm famous now. I can't be seen
that's right.
hanging out with.
It's all those celebrity signings and stuff like that you're going to. Mm-hmm. They only care about Nick. They don't care about Dave.
That's not true.
Dave, they're not even allowed to follow Dave, whereas Nick's got his arms open. Everyone can follow him. Anyway.
I need to know that you recorded this entire thing.
Well, yes, it is recorded, granted.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Yes, I am well, because I am now not playing Jak and Daxter.
Well, that's a great start to the review. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jak and Daxter got an A. It's special, isn't it? Jak and Daxter, The Last Frontier. Let's put that out there. It is The Last Frontier, not the actual Jak and Daxter games.
We're not wasting any time. We are 20 seconds into this episode, and I'm shitting on this game.
But why? Why, Nick? Why are you shitting on it? Why are you Cleveland Steamer upon it?
What? Cleveland Steamer?
Cleveland Steamer, yeah. It's
What's that?
It's shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to kill you, but yeah, that's what it is.
A Cleveland steamer. Oh wait, it steams. Why is it in Cleveland?
I can't remember. It was from an old Tenacious D song. I can't remember.
What?
Yeah, Jack.
Of course, it's Tenacious D. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes, this game is a big fat dinky Cleveland steamer.
That's right.
It's just a brown dumpling. I don't. No, it's the worst. It really is.
I'll qualify this as The Last Frontier. Jak and Daxter: The Last Frontier,
Yes.
not the Jak and Daxter games in general, because we haven't come around to those yet.
No, we haven't. How many are there?
I think it's like 5 or 6, because it's like the main series, 1, 2, and 3.
Including this one. 5, 6, including this one.
And then there's Daxter had his own game.
Yes.
This one had his own game. These are both PSPs. So I think 5. Could be 6, but I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure Jak and Daxter had 3, right? Like a trilogy.
Yes, the original PS2 trilogy.
Yeah.
And then these 2 PSP spin-offs.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's as far as it went.
I haven't played... Let me just say this up front. Quick disclaimer for everyone listening. I have not played any other Jak and Daxter games, which I know is heresy.
Well, me too. I've never played them either.
This is
a pure review. This is no bias whatsoever.
Which is, in a way, due to the zero bias, could be the purest review of this game there is.
The internet, of the entire internet. The entirety of the internet, exactly.
Everyone should tell their friends and their parents that if they want to listen to an extremely unbiased opinion of Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier, check out Critical Arcade. Yeah,
exactly right. Because it's not good. Well, it's not great. No, it's bad. Bad's the word I was looking for. I was trying to do all the positive terms. It is.
It's horrendous.
It's one of those weird games which I don't understand. Well, first of all, it's from High Impact Games, the developer, which is actually relatively well known for doing the platformer types of games. They did.
Did you check out what they did as well?
All I saw was Ratchet and Clank Size Matters, which I also think
is
a spin-off of Ratchet and Clank, right? Or not? It was that main series.
Correct. But it's one of those bigger spin-offs for an actual home console.
I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. And they also did Secret Agent Clank, which is another spin-off. And then all I really saw was like Phineas and Phoebe, which I think is a Cartoon Network thing or something? I don't really follow cartoons much anymore. Or Fern.
I forgot. You're old.
I'm old, yeah. But my Cartoon Network was Tom and Jerry.
Have you not seen Phineas and Ferb?
I've seen pictures of them. They're the ones with like the triangular heads, right? Little kids with triangular heads.
The one has a head like a pipe, and the other one has a head like a Dorito.
Yes, that's the only thing I know about them. That's it.
That's Phineas and Ferb.
Okay.
That was their last game. You're right.
Yes,
They also made
that's right.
Ratchet and Clank. Secret Agent. Did they also make Daxter?
I don't think so. I didn't see that on there. That somehow went to another third-party studio to some degree. I think High Impact Games died, hasn't it?
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
No, not me.
Do you know what? I mean, Jak and Daxter was a Naughty Dog IP.
Yes, it was.
Were they available for like consultations
It's always hard
during the development?
Yeah, it's always hard to know because Naughty Dog, we all know Naughty Dog, i.e.
Yes.
Crash Bandicoot,
Last of Us, Uncharted.
So they're big boys now. And when you're given the rights to a spin-off, you'd figure that they'd be in development somehow or somewhere with their fingers.
Yes, they'd be involved to make sure that their first baby wasn't abused.
You'd believe that, but I do know that some IPs are actually sold off to third-party companies because they're now moving on. They may have just started doing Uncharted, for example, and they no longer wanted to do Jak and Daxter, so they kind of sell the IP cheap to a third-part company.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think they sold it. I still think Naughty Dog and Sony still has the rights to Jak and Daxter.
Okay. You probably. I'm sure you're right. Or maybe they just absorbed high-impact games into the Naughty Dog umbrella, so to speak. But anyway, they fundamentally they seem to do spin-off games. They I don't know why, but they only seem to take IPs that already exist and make games around them, as well as Phineas and Ferb, which kind of a popular cartoon, right? If I know about it,
at a point, I think that was the cartoon for a couple of years. Okay.
But they don't. The weird thing about this game I don't understand is that it was a PSP game that got ported to PlayStation 2 later on. And isn't that the wrong way round?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, just learning that this company did the things the wrong way around. I wouldn't be surprised because this was a PSP game ported to the PS2 in 2009.
Yeah, that's really...
2009.
Which the PSP was tapering off, right?
I think so. I can't even remember. I never had a PSP. Just a reminder, in 2009, Naughty Dog made Uncharted 2.
Really?
Uncharted 2.
Wow. Like I said, I doubt they had much design help in regards if they were doing that type of thing. Wow.
That's 2009. At Batman Arkham Asylum, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That was 2009. So when High Impact Games came knocking on Naughty Dog's door, excuse me, Mr. Naughty Dog, can you help us with this game? And they said no, because they were working on Uncharted 2.
Fantastic American accent, by the way.
Thank you.
That was remarkable. You exactly.
Can't compare these games.
We're busy making multi-million-dollar games here. Thank you very much. Here,
just timeless classic.
Yeah, just do what you want. Yeah, just go in the corner and try to make something. Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. They tried, but they couldn't. They put on a dunce cap and they broke their own necks.
Well, you're not.
Sorry about that.
Okay, if we jump into narrative, first of all, I think if you've not played the other games, you're kind of lost because you immediately start off escorting this girl thing with big ears. She wants to become a sage.
Elaine.
Elaine. And you're looking for eco. So there's already like a bunch of stuff that's not really been established. So
no,
you kind of have to play Jak and Daxter to actually understand.
They just assume that you have.
They really do. Like you just go, oh, okay, we're jumping right in. Was there like a cliffhanger beforehand, like in another game that I don't know about? Didn't even give you like a last week on Jak and Daxter thing to
No,
catch up.
they're just
You were just
flying
there.
through the air
Yeah,
and talking, and you're supposed to know what's going on.
yeah, and just eco this and eco that and grab eco. We need more eco. There's none eco. Everybody wants eco. There's dark eco. Like, whoa, okay, that's a
Wow.
lot. All right then, yeah, okay. Eco it
Exactly.
is.
And then it's Eco and then Jack transforms?
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did you see that he turned into Dark Jack or
Oh,
whatever?
Dark Jack, yeah. That's supposed to be a thing. I don't know
Is
much
it?
about, yeah. In the other games, I don't know much about it.
I don't mind that. It's fun, but they don't explain
No, they don't. There is no
anything.
explanation of this whole thing. You're supposed to just know. You're supposed to know what the hell's going on. And that's the biggest, narratively, it's the biggest problem because the storyline is fairly standard platforming affair. Bad
Of
guys
course it
want
is.
something, you need that something, you try to get to it before them. You try to
Yeah.
save the world by gaining more eco and
Yeah.
the normal, yeah,
Tug of war, more tug of war.
which was fun and fine. Not fun, sorry, fun's the wrong word. It's fine, but there was no explaining really as to why, and
No!
it,
None!
it was like
It boggles my mind!
it's like,
Nothing!
but then granted, well, this game's kind of what aimed at teens, I suggest. But teens need to know why they're doing things, you know.
No, I don't even know if it's aimed at teens. I don't think they had a target market. I think their target market was Jak and Daxter fans.
Yeah,
That is
there's no
it.
doubt. They were trying to make money off the IP that was back in the day, back in 2000s. Jak and Daxter was big, wasn't it? Well, I remember
Yes,
when
of
it
course.
came
Yeah,
out of
it was one
nowhere
of
for PlayStation 2, and it was great.
it was one of the big PS2 3,
It really
right?
was. It really
Ratchet
was.
and Clank, Sly Raccoon, and Jak and Daxter.
No,
Those were the three big ones for the PlayStation 2.
and the comedy in this is so crap. Sorry,
What comedy? There's
there's
no comedy. There's
there's
nothing.
so much. Like I've played. I guess that our bias comes in now. I've played Ratchet and Clank, and
Of course.
there's comedy there. I like the big goofy superhero guy that keeps getting in the way. I don't know his name. Um,
Captain Quark.
yeah, I like all that, and I like the goofiness, very old school cartoony s type things.
Yes.
That's quite funny.
Yes.
But the comedy in this game, where
No.
Daxter keeps doing some references like oh, nobody else touches the fur and stuff like that, and it's so like, whoa, who wrote
Yeah.
this?
No, it is. It's horrendous. It's bad. Clank, right?
Yeah.
When Clank talks, he's a robot. He's
He
got a
is.
bit of a dry tone,
Mm.
a bit over informative. That's
Yeah.
fine, because Ratchet can be a bit quippy.
Yes, and he could be,
Daxter,
yeah.
Daxter's aged horribly. It's annoying as hell. I've got it down in the audio segment. Daxter is so annoying.
Yes. But it's hard for me to say because I've not played the other ones. Was he annoying
Same.
in 1, 2, and 3? I can't
don't
imagine so
know.
because they're so beloved. You know, they are quite well
Yes.
known and they were quite a fun duo and stuff like that. You know, I know this from third person because I haven't played it, but I remember people talking about it and have you played this and you should buy Jak and Daxter. I remember that conversation being had as a kid.
Maybe because they saw people liked him, he was funny. They oversteered in that direction,
Yes, that's possible. That can happen, yeah, of course.
and even that mistake is still being made in the MCU.
Yes, yes. But that one I find fascinating to some degree. I always keep an eye on things like that.
Yeah.
Superhero fatigue and stuff that's happening now.
Oh.
And then Marvel's of the Guardians of the Galaxy came out
Yes.
and has actually been a decent payday for everybody, which then points out that it's not Marvel fatigue, it's crap storytelling. Well, no,
There
it's
we go.
It really is. It's stories that are boring or not put on the screen as exciting enough. It's interesting because they pointed out that Ant-Man is lots of fun graphics and stuff like that, but it's not grown up. And most of the people who go to watch Marvel movies are actually grown ups now. Kids, of course,
Yeah.
enjoy it, but there's nothing in there that makes you go, you know, which is works the mind a bit and the emotions and
Right.
all this stuff.
Yeah. No,
But
I
where
gotcha.
Marvel of the Galaxy, they've upped their game and made it a bit darker, and of course, our older audience is always up for that, i.e., Batman and all the other things. No, it's interesting,
Yes.
but you're right. You're right. They really do like to milk things, and this feels a bit like
Yes.
they've milked. They're
It
trying to
really
milk Jak and
does.
Dexter. Yeah.
Even went a bit too far. What he says is annoying. It's not funny at all, as you
No,
said.
it's
His voice acting is bad.
yeah.
I
He's
can
the
see it
worst one.
working.
He's
Yeah,
the
I can
voice
see it
acting
working on a
wise.
PS2.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
But that,
just that I can't. I don't find any redeeming qualities. Did you watch the opening cutscene?
I did, and then I accidentally pressed a button halfway through it, which skipped it. But I watched the most of it, I believe.
There's a bit you must have seen it. There's a
Yeah,
bit where their plane gets invaded by pirates,
that's right. That's right. Yeah,
and he jumps on their wing,
that's right.
and then Jack jumps out onto the wing, and then they talk. Just
As you would, right?
on,
Yeah,
they just have a conversation on the wing of a moving plane.
that's right. It's.
I don't think that came across. Everyone, they had a full conversation on the wings of a moving plane.
See, I mean, this. I feel like I'm rubbing off on you now. So, so you're annoyed about the aeronautics and the physics of the game itself. As
What?
in,
I'm
first
I'm
of all, you won't be able
annoyed.
to hear. Second of all, you'd fall off the plane without being strapped on. Is it that
I'm
aspect?
annoyed. I'm annoyed by Jak and Daxter, The Lost Frontier. Everything. It just, I hate it. This is the same issues I have with Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
Jeez, when we eventually make an episode on Resident Evil 6, that's going to be 5-6 hours.
Well, there you go, ladies and gents. There's an evening's
Jeez.
worth of podcast for you right there.
That's an easy F.
You're one of the only people I know that uses the word hate in regards to game reviews. It's like I don't
Really?
dislike. It's not I dislike or I didn't enjoy. I hate. If I saw
Capital
this game
H.
down an alleyway, I'd kick it and I'd throw it in the gutter. I hate you, Jak and Dexter. But fair enough, it's not a great game.
Okay, let's be honest. Are we really reviewing games?
No,
Are we
that's
just-
true. No, we're just
Are we
really
just taking Cleveland Steamers on games we don't like?
But it's almost like your origin story to how you become the evil villain who destroys the gaming world, something like that. I just started hating them. I started pulling them apart, and I started melting them because I just hated these games. No, it's not a good game.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Hate might be a strong word.
It is a strong word, but it's not a good game. So
No, be
Okay,
better, Jak and Daxter.
as we said, narratively, apart from being good versus kind of bad and saving the world versus being greedy, that's kind of the whole story. You go looking for eco, you claim eco,
It is.
you weirdly upgrade yourself using eco, which I found
don't-
was
I
weird.
don't-
I
I'm
thought
not
we're
going to
trying
ask
to
questions anymore.
I thought we're trying to like save it and save the world, but we seem to be spending it on ourselves. Which seemed a tad greedy.
Now we're just eating it.
Yeah,
right?
that was weird. I was like, okay,
Putting a belt on our arm,
yeah.
tapping just to make sure we get the veins.
Yeah, it was just really strange. But all right.
Jeez.
Okay, should we jump straight into visuals then?
No, there's a scene
Okay,
later
go on.
where you get to the mayor of this city. You meet him in the street. That's it. You walk up to where you're supposed to meet him. He's not there, and then when the cutscene starts, he's there.
Yeah, it just randomly appears. Yeah, I know
He just appears, and
Yeah.
then his second in command
Yeah,
starts.
I thought it was the two guys, right? Yeah. No, I remember now.
He's just crapping on you.
Yeah. It's what?
Oh, your plane is shooting other planes in our territory.
What? How you don't get voiceover work still blows my mind. It was like I was
What do you
there.
mean, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
It was
Oh,
like I
right,
was
yeah.
there. Your talents are just so massive. I'm amazed. But anyway, yes, I know the guys you're talking about.
Yes. You're trying to get me off topic. It's not going to
Sorry.
work.
Go on, yeah, try to
Directly after that piece of shit scene, Daxter falls in the sewer and then turns
There we go.
into
Dark Daxter.
what? He turns into a yeti?
Yeah, he turns into like he hulks out because he gets infused with dark ego somehow. I can't remember.
What?
Yeah, and then you just go around smashing stuff and shooting
But
balls of eco or something at
up
things.
until this point, 4 games later, there hasn't been dark eco. It's this new thing, and now all of a sudden, Daxter trips into the sewer, and now there are mountains of this stuff, and he just spins into them to make him strong and dumb.
No, it makes it very dumb, and even his catchphrases were just really annoying. What was it? This is what it's like to be at the top of the food chain, or something. I can't remember what he says, but he says something
worst.
along those lines.
It makes no sense. After he takes an elevator, he calms down, and then, who's right next to this elevator? Oh, it's Jack to pick him up.
Of course.
No words, nothing, no dialogue.
Yeah, this is everyday stuff.
Daxter climbs out of the sewer, Jack picks him up, and then they just walk about town.
You're not wrong.
This game is making me go insane.
I'm fine. I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, visuals now, or you got more? Because I really didn't
find
much to do.
It's so bad. This was 2009. This was 2009. We got Uncharted 2. We got Assassin's Creed 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, Modern Warfare 2, a lot of 2s.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's the era of sequels.
It is insane that a game for the PS2 would release in 2009 looking like this. And I know it's a PSP port, but
it is.
There are PSP games that looks just...
Oh, there's some very pretty PSP games.
Right?
Some great PSP games.
What are some... Was there God of War games?
Oh yeah, there was the Chains of Olympus, I think the God of War game.
Oh yes, okay. Oh right, and Ghost of Sparta.
No, there was loads for PSP. What's it? Crisis Core, Final Fantasy. There was.
Of course, Final Fantasy would look good.
And some of the Metal Gear Solid games ported very nicely.
Yes, Peace Walker. We reviewed Peace Walker.
Yeah, exactly. No, PSP was a good little console.
I don't understand. High impact games must have been high.
Nice. Like I say,
Thank you.
I agree. No, this was just one of those cash cow things. This was a cash in, a cash grab. Hell, a lot of it is, like I said, narratively. Jak and Daxter is a platforming game with puzzles and all the normal things that come with this. But a lot of this game is just dogfighting, plane versus planes.
Yes.
Just again and again and again and again and again. And again, just these missions upon missions of just shooting and then turning around and doing a flip and shooting and turning around and doing a flip and then...
Yes.
It's fun the first time you do it and you're like, okay, this is a cool segment. This might as well have been called Jak and Daxter Dogfight. There was just so much of it.
Yes. No, I get it. I at least put down in gameplay. We'll get to that. The dogs fight are okay.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
But visually, they're so... boring.
Oh, like I said, I've got something in gameplay later for that anyway. We'll jump into visuals then.
Yes. Oh, I thought we were on visuals.
No, okay, yeah.
That's what I said. There are PSP games that look good. This is not one of them.
I know, I'm with you now. No, 100%. I just don't know. I just don't understand. I don't understand how it wasn't PlayStation 2 then ported to PSP.
Yes.
That's what blows my mind a little bit.
Or just PS2, or just PS3, because the PS3's been out for 3 years.
Oh,
by
really?
That point.
Had it already been out for so long? So
it released in 2006, I think.
So they released a PlayStation 2 game when the PlayStation 3 was 3 years, going 3 years strong.
That's right. Imagine bizarre. Releasing now in 2023, releasing an exclusive PS4 game.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. That is really weird.
And it's a Sony exclusive.
Yeah,
it's one of the PlayStation studios.
That's right.
This is Jak and Daxter.
That's true. That's really weird. That is very strange. Like, it's almost like it took too long for them to make, and they missed all their windows to release it properly. That's really strange. Sorry, I didn't know that the PS3 was going, and it was going strong. The PS3 was doing all right next to the Xbox 360. 3 years in, it was doing all. That's crazy. I can't get over it.
I don't know about that. I heard the PS3 kind of.
It did
only later in its year. It kind of lifespan. It took off. The 360 did better. Didn't it?
No, the 360 kicked its ass, sadly. But they put that out because the PlayStation 3's initial launch games were just ass.
Yes,
they were horrible.
And apparently the PlayStation 3 was just difficult to develop for.
Yeah, yes, that's right. They did make it. The development kits were kind of awkward, and of course then Microsoft made it so easy because PCs and
Yeah. Yeah,
Microsoft
yeah.
and no, an Xbox just blew up, which is quite funny
Yeah.
now that Xbox is really struggling. Like it's crazy. It
Yeah.
they did
Well, this
amazing with 360, and then just they're starting to really lose money.
I think it was the guy in charge of Xbox, the CEO of Xbox at the time, Don Matrick.
Yeah. I can picture it.
He he just had a radical idea of where Xbox was, where he thought it was headed, and it just did not
It
work.
really didn't. Like it
Right?
really didn't. It's
This
crazy.
this media center where you
Yeah,
can watch
exactly.
sports and listen to music and maybe play a game.
Yeah, it was really strange what he tried to do with the voice activation and all the other like he was trying
Right?
to be all
Yeah.
high tech, where most people
Yeah.
just wanted. I just want a console. I want something to play games on.
I just
We
want to play
buy
my game.
TVs and other things to do that thing. We want a gaming device. At least that's what my understanding or my thoughts.
Same. We can get into all that in
Yeah,
a
sorry.
bonus
Yeah.
episode later.
But visually, this game is a bit mental because it looks so. It's like I said, this whole game looks like a PSP, like poorly rendered PSP game. There's
An
lots of
early
rough,
PSP
yeah,
game.
rough corners, weird particle effects for guns instead of anything that's particularly clean. Um, and the worst thing now, I put this down for performance as well, is,
Yeah.
I'm putting in some visuals because it really bugged me, um, is that because it was a PSP game which only
Yes.
had one analog stick. The PSP only has got the one,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I
then
know what you're gonna say.
and then it was ported over to the PlayStation 2, which of course has the two analog sticks, but nothing
Yes.
changed. So the
Oh, wait a
cam,
minute. I didn't know that. What?
yeah,
Oh,
the camera work. You couldn't control the camera.
wait. So that second analog on the PS2 was just.
It was pointless. Couldn't do anything with it. No, that's why it's so visually. It was so hard to do. You know that it's a platforming game, so some of the jumps you got to
Oh
jump right at
man.
the edge to
Yeah,
jump
you've
onto the
got you've
next
got
section.
you've got to have the camera in the place you
Yes.
need it so you can make the jump.
Yeah, depth perception wise in this game
No.
was really hard at
No.
bits because you were like, I can't see where the edge is. Like, and
No.
they always make it those jumps that if you don't time it perfectly, you're not going to make it. So if you're like a
Yes.
half a second off, you're falling into the lava or whatever. Oh no, the camera and in this regard, it made it so hard just for simple things like depth perception and
Yeah.
the weird thing when I was you're playing that could be gameplay as well, but when you're
Yeah.
running around, you got a group of bad guys and then you're
Yes.
shooting in front of you, and then the other bad guys go off screen and you have no idea where they are, so you just turn around and start shooting because
Yeah.
you can't see them, you don't know what's going on, and
Yeah. Yeah.
every environment's just this big flat space. Like 90% of all
Yeah.
the environment, be it in a
It
factory
sucks.
or a jungle or something like that, is always just this big flat space with little like bumps on it. But that's it, just
Hmm.
a flat. I know. It's just,
No, I get it. I totally get it. I went there's in the city. There's a combat training
yeah, that's right.
area, right? And in that, I figured out that you can use the shoulder buttons to turn the camera left and right,
Oh, okay,
right?
okay,
And
got you.
it's not nearly enough for
Well,
the
that
platforming sections, but at least I could track the enemies as they
okay,
would
okay.
run off screen. I could kind of keep looking at them. But it's the same issue we had with Super Mario Sunshine. If there's geometry behind you,
Yeah, exactly. I know what you're gonna say. Go on,
no,
yeah.
the camera is not moving anywhere.
At all.
You're
Yeah,
shit out of luck.
yeah. You can't see anything. Like you're
Nothing.
literally screwed. You need to
Yeah.
come in at a different
Yeah.
angle or something. Yeah.
No, you can't see the enemies or make the jump because there's a box behind you.
That's right. That's right. No, it's
How?
the only thing I'll give it credit. I didn't mind the little city place. That was all right. That looked okay. You know the one with the little mini missions that
Yes.
you run into it. That was
Yes.
okay. It was probably
All
the
those hide and seek missions.
yeah, which we'll talk about later. Um, but yeah, that was okay. That was the highlight. I know I scored visuals better than you because
Yeah.
this is a Cleveland steamer in your
Oh, it
perception.
really is.
But yeah, that was pretty much the highlight because I also didn't like the aerial combat type visuals. They reminded me of like the arcade machines back
Oh,
in the
yeah?
day with the little like reticle. Is it reticle? You
The
know,
crosshair.
yeah, the crosshair that randomly, locks on and stuff like that. It was very old school looking, and especially for this was a mechanic that was brand new to Jak and Dexter. That you'd figure that would be the big polished moment, the air combat,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
wasn't. It
It
really
really,
wasn't for me.
there's no redeeming qualities.
No,
Do you want to know? I picked something up
go on.
in this game, and once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it.
Hit me with it.
Do you remember what Jack looked like in those first games?
Uh, yeah, with big ears, blonde hair, a goatee.
Yeah, he was a dude.
Yeah, no doubt.
Why does he now look like he belongs in Gears of War?
Well, he's a bit more
He's a
stocky,
bit
right?
more linebacker-ish.
Yeah, he has put on some mass. I'll give you that.
Why? I don't understand. He was a guy. He was a dude with a rat. Now all of a sudden he looks like a truck.
Is Daxter a rat?
I don't
He's
know.
not a rat, right? You're trying to blow
What do you
my
mean,
mind.
Daxter?
Yeah.
No. I don't know what he is. He's an annoying side
Yeah,
character.
I actually don't even know
That's
what
what he
he
is.
But yeah, but maybe we're missing something in the story. Maybe Jack.
I
maybe
don't.
Jack
I don't
gets
think
popped
so.
when he
No,
gets
I
swole.
think we're giving this too much credit.
Okay, it's just. I'm trying to think why they do that, even like graphically, if there's some reason.
Because it was 2009, and they saw the appeal of big, strong dudes.
Oh no, all games started
and how
doing that. That's
exactly,
true. Yeah.
and how good those types of games were doing in America.
Yeah, no doubt.
And
no
so
doubt.
they thought, oh, okay, let's take this guy everyone loves and give him some muscles.
Give him that protein.
Yeah.
just
Give
knocking
him
back
that
some
whey.
raw eggs. Yeah,
Huh?
exactly.
That'll look good on the marketing.
Well, yeah, he is stocky. I'm trying to think of a reason why, but I can't. I'm trying to play devil's advocate, but in the nice way here. But I can't think why he was so stocky.
No.
But he was. Like I said, it's
That's it. That's all I've got for visuals, though,
Okay.
so we can...
okay, Mr. Sound. It's Mr. Sound.
No,
man.
no, you were busy saying something.
I'm just trying to. I was trying in my head thinking because the visuals. What it must be? What 4:3 for the PSP ratio?
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I might be
it
being
could be.
mean. That could be. I'm kind of being mean. 4:3 was like the SNES era. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's a bit much. I'm trying to think of it. I'm just trying to think of a reason why he was so stocky, and I just can't. I can't. I'm trying to be nice, but it's not working.
No, there's none. Let this game
Let
kiss
it-
its own ass.
Okay, sound guy. This is where it can help itself, right? You
Here
must
we
have
go.
found something. The score, the voice acting,
Yes,
the
the
sound
score.
effects.
Here we go. The soundtrack. So, I'm making a habit of this, but I listened to the soundtrack of this game while I wasn't playing this game, doing
Yeah.
chores or whatever. I'd put the
Yeah.
soundtrack on and just listen to the music.
Nice.
It's so meh.
Yeah, I wrote that down
It's
too.
so average. There's nothing spectacular.
Yeah,
It's just meh.
generic platforming sounds and generic
Exactly,
platforming
that's it.
song and generic
So,
platforming
yeah,
fire.
there would be an orchestra playing the most generic things. I'm pretty sure the orchestra could play this with their eyes closed while chatting to each other.
Yeah, I could imagine eating some chips or something.
Exactly.
Whilst doing it, yeah.
No, there's nothing special in this soundtrack. It's serviceable.
Yeah. Which is fundamentally how you could describe this game.
Exactly.
It's a serviceable.
Oh no, this
no.
game is bad. This is not a serviceable game, Dave.
This didn't even reach serviceable for you. This is a
No!
coaster, an ashtray,
No.
a Cleveland steamer, as we've said.
Exactly, I was repulsed playing this because you know why? Because I know what Jak and Daxter can be. I know the heights that they've been
Yeah,
on the PS2 era. That was the top tier echelon game, and now it's this. This was their last game. They went out with a whimper and not a bang.
Yeah, it's quite sad. Was it actually the last one as well? I didn't actually read that. Was it the
I
last?
don't know.
It could
I think
be.
so. Jak
could-
and Daxter
I'm
games.
trying to think though. It's
Yes,
gotta be-
this is.
This
Yes,
is the
they had
last
a
one.
re-release. This is the last one. They had a Jak and Daxter collection
yeah, of
release
course. Yeah,
in
it's a
2012.
re-release. Yeah. That doesn't count.
But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
this was the last. Oh, that's sad.
That is sad.
Oh, that's
that actually
sad.
makes me quite sad. That's made me. it's always horrible when a good IP gets screwed over, and
Yeah,
especially an IP as when you're a kid and you grow up, and then they kind of ruin it. Just
yeah,
hurts a bit more.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we've all had games where that's happened.
Especially an IP from Naughty Dog.
Yeah, I know, right? They're pretty prolific now, right?
Yeah, yeah,
What?
but I don't think you can make the types of stories that they want to make
No,
with an IP like Jak and
no,
Daxter.
no, you really can't. They're all about humanity and emotion and all sorts of things now, aren't they? Common. No,
Yeah,
you can't compare. Except for they re-released Crash Bandicoot or made a new Crash. Was that Naughty Dog, by the way? Am I make? I know
I
they owned the IP. Did
uh,
they actually release the fourth one or not?
Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time was developed by Toys for Bob.
Ah, okay. I figured as much. They're too busy making Last of Us and Uncharted, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're making something else, aren't they? What's their new one?
Last of Us, Uncharted.
Or was that to be
They make
revealed?
it's to be revealed at the
Yeah.
showcase
Okay. Hopefully.
tonight.
Yeah. Hopefully
I think it's
tonight.
Last of Us Factions, the multiplayer game.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, going on. So audio
So
wise, yeah,
yeah,
the soundtrack was boring. The gun. It's hard for me not to compare it to Ratchet and Clank because I've played. Oh, I can't remember the names. They've always got fun names. I've played a couple of them, and their
up your
weapons.
arsenal.
That's. I was thinking Arsenal in my head, and I couldn't think what the hell the rest was it.
It's
Um,
funny.
and their guns are so almost prolific and fun.
Yes.
They all have
Yes.
different sound effects. They've always got like a blob sound effect,
Yeah.
or of course the disco ball one was always quite fun.
Well, the guns are a big part of that game.
Oh, very much so. And this Jak and Daxter was the first time they actually introduced guns. Most of his other games, it's just melee combat. So the gunfight,
Really?
yeah. So I read.
Wow.
Granted, you can't.
Okay.
So that was a new layer of system in place, which
Yes.
doesn't make it any better. But it was but it was different, and I just couldn't. Daxter just drove me mental. I could not.
He really did. He really did.
There was
Out
nothing
of
charming about it
no.
that most
Nothing.
sidekicks often are. There's a bit of rough and tumble, but there's always a charm or an innocence or something. Daxter just was annoying. Like every moment, even his gameplay later on is the most annoying
Yes,
gameplay in
it's
the
the
game.
worst. I hate.
It's
Oh,
hard
okay,
not to
fine.
hate Daxter.
There I
It
go
really
again.
is.
I said I hate it.
That's
No,
true.
I dislike it so much. That's my biggest point for audio. The soundtrack is fine. The sound effects are serviceable. The voice acting is bad and not good bad. Bad.
Okay, bad. Elaborate. Why bad?
You just said it yourself. Dexter is
Dexter's
annoying as hell.
No,
Whenever he
Dexter's
opens
annoying
his
as hell.
mouth, I
Yeah.
want to skip the cutscene.
Yeah, and Jack and Elaine, or whatever the hell you said her name was, I forget.
Yeah, Elaine. Elaine sounds fine. Her voice acting's all right. Not her actual dialogue, just her voice acting.
No, I agree.
Jack doesn't. I mean, I don't know how he was in the previous games.
Nor do I.
He
That's
doesn't
the problem.
seem like this stoic type, but
No.
for some reason, he just doesn't crack a smile ever.
That's true, but like I said, I don't know if does he smile in the other games.
I don't know.
They're not very personable in this version of the
No.
game. They're not personable at all. You don't. This whole game's got this whole play style where you don't actually care, like finding eco, falling in love with the characters. None of that seems to hit. You're just
No.
here to do some platforming, shoot some things, and do some air combat. It just seems.
And do all of those badly.
Yes, it just seems like a mishmash of different platforms and concepts put into a really, say, bland story. Which is sad. Like I said, it makes me sad
It's
because
so
this is the
sad
last game
because-
now.
Exactly, and this franchise used to be a bestseller.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Okay.
do imagine, though, when people think about Jak and Daxter, they don't think about this game.
No, I think this one definitely didn't really hit many radars either. I didn't actually look at sales. I normally do, but I can't imagine it was big. You know,
No.
This wasn't prolific. Or if it was prolific, we would have heard of it. You know, I've heard of Jak 1, 2, and 3. I've seen Daxter in the shops, but I haven't.
Same. But
this
this
one I'd
game-
never heard of. Yeah, I'd never actually heard of
I
this
did-
one.
I mean, I'm almost sad that this is the first one we.
Yeah, no, I agree.
played.
Of all the ones that we were with our list gave us, it was this one. That is quite sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, gameplay.
Gameplay. Yeah,
So,
gameplay. This is for platformer games, for these types of games. Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter, Sly Raccoon. The gameplay is where it's at,
yeah, 100%.
or
Yes, that's
is supposed to be where it's
that's where
at.
your bread and butter is in these types of games. You're right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the nicer one of the two. I'm pretty sure. Let's face it. It's been quite apparent throughout this entire. There were things I liked.
Okay.
They've got like a hell of a lot of like building mechanics for your spacecraft, so you can
Yeah.
upgrade them and have different spacecraft, and you can upgrade your skills, and that's quite a large upgrade
Yeah.
tree.
You've got 4 skill trees, right?
Yeah. So it's quite it was more in depth than I expected from like a platform. You know, you don't
Yes.
get that type of thing in Mario and stuff like that.
No.
And then there was as you develop in the game, you gain more powers, which is fairly common in platforming games, like the ability to blow things up or make a sphere of a shield around you and stuff like that. And some of the platform required you to use those skills in relatively clever ways to get to new places or proceed further in the story, which I thought was nice. I'm not going to say it's good, but it was nice. Now,
Yeah.
that's about as far as I go with good gameplay. I've got to add those, I can only say idiotic missions with the timer on it in the town where you had
Oh
to.
no. Yes, where you had to hunt
Who
an egg or whatever.
who thought that was a good idea?
No,
Ever?
nobody thought that was a good idea. There was some corporate schmuck that
Like,
said, "Oh, the town needs to be filled with mini games. You need to add activities in this town, otherwise it's not a town."
and then put a timer on it.
Yeah.
God,
No.
it's taking something that's monotonous, like collecting eggs or parts or
Yeah.
special shiny spheres, and then making you
And
do it
making
in
it stressful.
a frenzy of like, and then not caring. Oh God, it was. I just did not, and the time limits were really close. It's not like
Yeah.
they gave you a good 2 minutes and the item was 30 seconds
No.
away. The item was 10
No.
seconds away
Yeah,
and
I
they
had to
gave you
find
12
something.
seconds.
Well, that's it. I needed to find something in 25 seconds.
Yeah, it was.
Nowhere.
I can't imagine this development side of this bit where they said, let's do this, but let's really mix it up. Let's add a timer.
Whoa!
That's never a good idea, like ever.
Oh, brilliant idea, Corporate Joe.
Yeah, I just thought that was so insane. I could not believe they did that. And so I just didn't do them in the
You'd
end.
think that would be just some of the activities in town.
Mm.
No,
No.
that is
Like,
all of them.
yeah,
That
really-
is
it really
every
is.
single one. You
Oh.
can upgrade at a lane.
Yeah, that's right.
You could, or you could do these hide and seek timed activities. That is
That's
it.
right. That's right. I hated them. This is the time I'm going to use this with your word. I hated them. I hate the mechanics.
You see how
your
easy
time-
you can hate games.
Yes, you can.
Because it's stressful and it makes me anxious.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I just want to relax with the game.
You know, there's some games where it works, like when Sonic's
Yes.
underwater.
Yes.
I kind of like the energy and it revolves about the music that plays. You've got to find some bubbles quickly. That's fine.
Or the multiplayer mechanic where in Super Mario Odyssey you need to hide a balloon as Luigi,
Yeah.
and then other people online need to find this balloon as
Okay.
Mario.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I can
And
imagine
those are also timed, but that's just the multiplayer mechanic.
Yes, that's quite fun, and like you said, I can picture how that would work out. And that's but this I seriously could not believe it. I could not believe this was the mechanic.
No, this was a I'm gonna say it again. This was a corporate checklist that they needed to fill. That's it. That's it. Corporate Steve told them, okay, hide 10 eggs in this area.
Yeah, just to flesh it out a bit.
Exactly. Just flesh it out. Make the game seem bigger because it sucks. Thank you, Corporate Steve. We will do it.
Okay, and I have to go on to this one now, which we noted upon earlier. Later on in the game, the aerial combat, where you send Dexter out on the missions to missiles to hack them and stuff. Did you get to that part?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
What are you
you're so
talking
lucky.
about?
Later on, when you're
Why?
taking on these turrets,
Yes.
like on a base, and then you've got to send I keep getting them mixed up.
Daxter.
Out, and he jumps on a missile, and then he has to hack it. And it's just quick time events that if you get wrong, you have to redo it. And it's this little cutscene where you have to press A and pull this and dodge that. And then you do it once and it's great. And then you got to do it 4 more times.
Oh, no.
And it's the same scene. They don't mix it up in any regard. It's almost...
No, that's just... No, you're just filling... You're just wasting my time.
Oh, and that's what air combat was. I liked it the first time. And hell, even though I thought the ship kind of controlled all right. You know,
no, that was one thing.
Handling was all right, yeah.
It really was. The ship's handling was fine. I could pan left and right, move up and down. It felt all right.
It reminded me a bit of what's it called? Star Fox. Is that what it's called? The old Nintendo 64 type game. You know,
yes.
That reminded, but that charm only lasts like the first aerial combat one. And
there was even a Star Fox Easter egg.
Oh, whereabouts? Did I miss it? No, I didn't. Where?
It was at the start of the first dogfight, or in the middle of it, or something.
Yeah.
When they're still explaining the controls.
Yeah.
You've got enemies behind you.
Yes,
and then Daxter says, "Do something. I don't know. Do a barrel roll."
Ah, okay. I'm with you now.
Yeah. And that is one of that is a famous line from Star Fox.
That's
Do a barrel roll.
But yeah, okay, I'll let you say some things there. The air combat got so boring.
It got very boring because there's nothing in the air. It's just an open space, and you and 6 other planes and a massive open area.
Yeah, and then the missions are all the same. Man. Later on, you go back and you collect these missions, and it's just a different space with 8 more planes for you to shoot down.
Yeah,
and then the next one's the same, and the next one.
No, nothing. This is boring.
Occasionally,
it's wasting my time.
There was a big ship you got to take on.
Yeah,
that wasn't bad. That mixed it up for like 20 seconds.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, I get it. Weird. It's a new mechanic they put in the game, and then they made it boring because this game could have been saved if the rest was boring, but the dogfights were like awesome. You know, we've got loads of games out there that are kind of crap. There's one aspect that's amazing.
Exactly.
Really
one specific gameplay loop that you can get very addicted to. For me, that was in Killer 7. The gameplay loop in Killer 7, I liked it a lot. Super fun.
It was weird. An old nostalgia one for me was Pod Racer, the Star Wars Pod Racer game.
Oh, really? The Star Wars Episode 1 racer.
Yeah, the game's boring. There's only races. There's no story or anything. But just controlling the pod races and the noise and the feeling of it, I played that game for hours.
That's how you know the gameplay loop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just good stuff. I think that's why Overwatch 1... rest in peace, Overwatch 2.
There's no such thing. Overwatch 2 doesn't exist. That's just Overwatch 1.
Sorry.
It's still just Overwatch 1.
You're right. It's still just Overwatch. But that's why people like playing Overwatch. Because of that gameplay loop.
Yes, I agree.
There's no story.
Yeah. No, exactly right.
There's no PvE. And there's never going to be now.
No, exactly.
People just like the gameplay loop. And if gameplay loops are good, it can save a game.
Oh, 100%. There are so many bad games where the gameplay loop is the saving grace.
Exactly. This is not one of them.
No,
this is not one of them.
Anything else? Like, gameplay-wise, what did you think?
The shoulder buttons get stuck on geometry. Oh, right. Melee combat.
Yes.
Oh, melee combat. Oh. Right.
Yeah.
Jak has a stick.
He does.
Right. When you attack with the square button, he attacks with the stick.
That's right.
If there's an enemy in front of you and press square, you think, okay, Jak would attack this enemy with his stick.
That's right.
Why on earth would... Sorry. Why would he move 10 feet forward with one attack?
Yeah, he does do that, a weird, I don't know, dash, I guess you'd call it.
Exactly. It's a dash. I just want to attack. But now he's sprinting 100 meters.
It went from 10 foot to 100 meters. That's good. Again, it's one of those things where they've just copy and pasted attack mechanics.
I don't get it.
And there's no lock on.
I just need to attack. No, there's no lock on.
No lock on.
No
it's
lock
like
on.
A simple lock on.
hardly any camera controls,
No.
which is very counterintuitive if you've got 2 analog sticks
Yeah, it's
on the
exactly right.
PlayStation 2,
No, exactly
which
right,
it
yeah.
was officially ported to.
It's still weird. That's still, but
It,
yeah, it's.
I don't know. Weird is one way to put it.
Yeah,
It's bad.
It is. It's bad. It's true. That's true. The word should be bad. I'm obviously nicer to it than you because I know I have a soul. Sorry, that was me. um, yeah, it just the whole game's just boring.
It's
the worst
boring,
thing
and the
about
parts
it.
that aren't boring, are bad.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not. There's nothing about the game, the gameplay, the sound, the story, nothing that makes you want to complete it. You don't want
No.
to get to the end. You don't want to know if you managed to collect all the eco or if the bad guys got to the eco first. It's just, I always think with PSPs and like Nintendo, the DSs and the Switch and stuff, my mind always goes, would I take it on a plane? Like when you're on a long flight and you got
okay.
10, 12 hours, you need something that's going to engage your attention because that's so boring and you need it. I even as a kid, I used to take my Game Boy, a book, and I used to watch movies on the little screen. So I'd always make sure, it was always a new book that I liked from one of my favorite franchises. The movies on the seats were always whatever they were. But I always had to make sure that the game I had was going to engage me and it wasn't a boring game. And this game, I wouldn't have touched it. I wouldn't have touched my PSP. I'd have paid it for 10 minutes and I would have watched the TV and read my books or something because it's nothing there. It's just not fun. There's nothing.
No, you know what?
Fun.
You know what? Those 10 minutes that you would have played this game would have felt like 20 or 30.
That's right. Like, I'd be like, are we landing yet?
Oh, we haven't even taken off, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a shame, but it is a shame it's the last game that actually makes me sad because it's so
it really is sad. So I feel bad for these Jak and Daxter fans. They know the potential that this series or franchise has, and it just whimpered off with The Lost Frontier.
Yeah, that is that is sad. It's
because this is a fantasy adventure game.
Oh yes, entirely. Yes, just like Ratchet and Clank and all the others. Yeah, 100%.
The potential is super.
Yeah, it's unlimited with the premise, as in space travel and all the other things to it.
Yeah,
it is limitless to some degree.
And magical relics and all of
exactly. All the things you can. Yeah, exactly right. No,
you can do so much.
So, it makes me. It's making me sad now.
Let's move on. Let's move on from gameplay
Performance. Apart from the cameras and the silly inability to lock onto to characters, which isn't really a performance thing. It's just bug me. I didn't really book much else.
No, I didn't even think of that. I really didn't even think of all these camera just poor decisions. The second analog stick on PS2 is just useless.
Yeah, really.
What?
No, they didn't. I don't know why, because now that you mention that, I didn't notice that you could use L1 and R1 to pan the. That means you could have just relatively easily ported that over to the analog stick. It means it was already put into the game. The mechanic was there.
Yeah.
So in theory, it should have been a relatively
lazy.
easy to just put that on the access movement of an analog stick. You'd have thought it'd be easier.
That's a performance issue.
Yeah, that's bizarre. I didn't know you could do it. So that the idea that it was in game and they didn't just move that over to the analog stick is insane.
Jeez.
Like you said, it's lazy. It's
100% laziness. Or they weren't paid enough.
Yeah.
They only got paid to make a half-baked job, and that's all they did. Just I don't know, in order to stick it to the man, or it's inexperience, or just nobody cared. Because I can see that just not a single person care about this project.
Well, like you said, it's a bit. That's a tad mean. Like you said, it's the corporate people can kind of suck the caring out of you when you work one of those jobs when they give you those deadlines and and those stupid quotas and stuff like that. It really can suck the caring nature of what you wanted to do compared to what you're allowed to do out of it. So it's
But I do get what you said. There must have been some people who
cared about exactly.
Sorry, there must have been.
Which but hopefully they're on to bigger, better things. Maybe they work for Naughty Dog now, properly doing all the wonderful things.
I hope so.
And then value for money.
I don't know. This is No, this is a no. I mean, if this was a PSP game in 2009, 2009, just buy something else. If you only had a PSP, you could have gotten the God of War games or Crisis Core.
Oh, there's plenty of good PSP games out there,
right?
Especially for Japanese RPGs and the stuff like that. And
yeah, and if you were looking for a platformer, maybe how about the Assassin's Creed PS2 game?
Mm-hmm. I know. Trying to think platformers.
Daxter was on the PS2.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's
get that.
And there's no real value for that. There's no going back. There's no real I want to
there's
hit
no
out my
value
spaceship.
here.
There's there's no. Oh God, it's boring. It's like I'm still picturing myself on that flight. This wouldn't be the game I would take with me.
You're right. There's no value in this product. There's hardly any. This game is made. This game was made 10 years too late. If this was released with the Jak and Daxter trilogy, and the cameras worked.
Yeah, it could be alright. It would have been a nice little add-on. It could be fine. It
could have just a nice spin-off.
Yeah, but no, you're right. I still can't get over how boring this game. It's one of those. I've played many games in my time, and I've always found at least that part was fun, and this part was fun. And I can't picture a time where I was playing this game and thought, well, at least that part was fun. For maybe 2 minutes. 2 minutes of dogfighting.
There's a redeeming gameplay loop.
Yeah, exactly. And then, this one has none. There's none. The dogfights are fine. The player control's fine. It's just so boring. There's nothing to do. It is. And if you do want to buy it, ladies and gents, it's quite easy to get hold of. If you go on eBay and stuff, it's only like a few bucks. It's not.
Don't do it.
It's not really hard to get hold.
Isn't. But the only reason I got this down for value for money. The only reason to buy this game is if you're trying to collect the hard copies for all Jak and Daxter games.
Yeah, fair enough,
as a collection.
Yeah, of course.
That is it. Don't play this game.
So, it's funny. I laugh, and I'm trying to think of nice things to say to counter your point, but I can't find any.
I dare you.
I can't find any. I'm trying to think. Well, it makes.
No.
If you want to.
If you made a shitty game, don't expect harsh criticism.
It's like if you've got a wonky
expect
table,
harsh criticism.
You can put this underneath the wonky table leg. That would be a benefit to this game. You could put the disc underneath there.
It could be. You can do if you really want
to. Paperweight, maybe you could gift it to someone as a paperweight.
The lost paperweight.
Yeah, exactly. See, there is uses. There are uses for it, just not as a video game.
There we go. Value for money, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not. It's not good. Let's face it.
No.
I'm not gonna. I can't do it anymore. It's like I'm lying. There isn't really any redeemable qualities in this game.
You know what? I mean, I'm just gonna blurt out this rating.
Yeah.
Jak and Daxter, we put our scores.
You don't even want to do it, do you?
No, I don't even want to do this entire spiel, this improvised bit. We took what little scores we had, and we made some good games in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's it.
They were bestsellers. But these scores eventually couldn't move on. We gave it to a different developer. And 10 years too late, that developers turned these scores into the letter grade rating of, it's no surprise, an F.
It's an F. It's another F, ladies and gents.
That's a big fat Cleveland steamer F.
That's the fourth F, that is, of our gaming list. That's a Bedfellows with Digimon World, Bad Boys, Miami Takedown, and Slenderman, I believe. Or Slender the Arrival. Sorry, yeah.
We had such a good run between Bad Boys and Slender.
Didn't we? Yeah, that's true.
What was that? 30 episodes with not a single F.
Yeah, we had a good
run. We're back at it again. Now we've got 2 Fs within 2 months.
That's true. Let's hopefully we're getting another A soon or something. Just to cleanse our palates. Yeah.
Please. I need maybe the next game's an A. Maybe we'll see.
Could be.
We'll see. I want to hear what the next game is. Thanks for listening, or sorry for listening to this week's episode of the Critical Again podcast. You can leave us a review, not of the game, but of the podcast. Because the podcast's good, the game's bad.
Yeah, exactly.
You can follow us on our social media channels, Facebook and Instagram. You can catch me on email at nick@criticalarcade.com.
And I'm Dave at criticalarcade.com.
Besides for your email, Dave, where else can we follow you with poorly made dogfighting controls?
Well, this is going to be a fairly simple one, but it also, to some degree, could be the most horrific one. If you follow me, I will just make you play this game.
Oh no!
that's
oh no! It's the worst one. That's the worst one.
It. That's literally it. I will carry a PSP on me, and I will make you just sit and play this game throughout, like completionist. You have to complete every aspect of it. Like,
you've seen Inception, where 10 seconds in a dream can feel like 10 minutes outside of the dream.
That's right. This is going to be.
That's what this game does. That's what this game does. It bends time. You'll sit there for a minute playing this game.
That's right.
And it's going to feel like an hour.
So if you do have a lot of time to kill, or if you do love mundane type activities in your games, then of course follow me. I am out there. I have my PSP ready. It's charged.
Don't do it.
It's got this game on it. So yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it. You could rather support us on Patreon for better exclusive content.
Exactly. Far more entertaining.
Right. Tell me, Dave, what episode are we listening to next week?
Well,
what? Sorry, what game are we playing next week?
I was going with it. Next week, it's actually it's a favorite of mine, but it's relatively unknown. I'm sure that all those JRPG people, just like myself, have probably heard of it, but most people don't. It's called The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel.
Is it Trails or Trials?
I'm going mad now because I've been playing these games for a long time and I don't know. Because you know me and names, I don't care.
Yes.
So now I'm going to find out for sure because I've always just called it Cold Steel. It's Trails.
It is Trails. It is Trails of Cold Steel. You're right. I just Googled it. It is Trails.
Yeah,
Trails of Cold Steel.
Which is
this is.
Go on.
Yeah.
It's actually an interesting Japanese RPG because it's actually got a massive history to it. The original one was on PSP, but that was called Trails of. Oh no, I've lost it. But that was there was two PSP versions, and then this came out for the PlayStation, and there's freaking 5 of these in the series.
That's the thing. This one was a hit because we're on Trails of Cold Steel 4, 5 now.
Yeah, and now they're just about to release another Trails of something, but I can't remember the name. It's Trails.
I think it's Azure.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's right. And these are. It's a weird combination of Japanese RPG and political intrigue and warfare. I played them, and I like I say, I'll pull it up more when we actually review the game. But it's an interesting combination of anime girls and swords and big flashy moves, and weirdly war.
Yeah, very real. It sounds fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I am out of my depth with this game. I am so glad you're on board for that one.
Yeah, luckily I've played a lot of this one as well. The first one I played a lot of. So I'm probably going to have to carry you through that one a bit. But no, I look forward to your views on it as well because you've never actually played them before. So that's going
to be interesting.
Yeah. So if you want to listen to that, catch us next week, huh?
Please do. Yeah, thanks for listening this week. Catch us next week, as they've said. Cheers.
Cheers.